Hey everybody, welcome to the Brian Clifton Mercedes channel. So I got my 300D back here and I'm going to get it up in the air and I'm going to try to do the ball joints, and depending on if I can figure it out or not, I might do the control arm bushings today too. So let's see what we can do. Okay, just for what I got here, my setup, I got the book here open to 32-200 for the removal of the spring. I actually just recently got the OEM spring compressors. So I had the cheap ones you get on eBay, and it's a little scary working with springs. There's a lot of stored energy in there. And then I also was able to get the Mercedes plates. And so once this thing's up in the air and I get the wheel off, it's going to go down pretty easy. And so basically you just put the plates, I believe it's going to be the smaller ones for me here, and you put them in the center and just kind of turn them around until you get the bottom one on the bottom and the top one on the top. So that one goes on top. This one should be going on the bottom. And once you got 8 springs in between the plates, then you can insert your compressor. So I got 2 just because that's what the thing I came with. The longer one is for the front and the shorter one is for the rear. And then I got the mollycoddle lubricant. So I'm gonna lube this up before I go and actually use it, and then probably after it's done too, and before I store it. And then here's the parts. Would have liked to go on Mercedes on it, but kind of a big price difference, and I'm okay with this. This is the original manufacturer. I don't know if the parts quality will be the same. You can usually tell here. So here, made in Brazil, so that could be questionable. We'll find out. For the ball joints, made in Malaysia. So yeah, we'll see about those. But yeah, anything's better than what I got on here right now. So gonna get this up in the air and get started. Okay, car's in the air. Got the tire under there just in case. And I'm gonna get started with this spring. This is the front driver's side. And so I got my lower piece. And this is what I'm going to do, is just find a place where it goes in. Okay, so I got it in there. And then you just need to rotate this. And it should make sense here, hopefully. But I want to rotate this until it gets down to the bottom. You see how it's starting to move down the coil? Okay, just keep going. That might be it right there. I think that's all I can get. So call that one good. And then let's try the top. This is going to need to go this way. Okay, so now do that same process. And then this is the part where Mercedes was saying you need to have 8 coils worth. We'll see if we get that here. If we look at what we got right now, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'll go up just a little bit more. See if we can get it. And then we can put the compressor in. Okay. This might be tough, but we'll see. Okay. Yeah, I think that works. Okay. Yeah, and see, if you try to pull it straight out, it won't come out. All right, let me try the next step. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I got roughly 8. 8.5, maybe. And yeah, that's as far as that one will go. So, okay, great. Here's what's gonna be happening here. So I got this extended out. This is the longer compressor. I'm gonna go ahead and just put the bigger plate on, which is more for think for W126 or 129. So here we go. Got the bottom piece on. Then what's going to happen is, so you're going to feed this up. There's a hole underneath the shock, the spring. Okay, so you feed it up through the bottom plate. When you get to the top plate, you'll have to go through at the right angle to get those little arms through, and then you can kind of turn it. And then you want to get those in those divots that are made for this. There's 3 of them. You want to get that in there. When you get that in there, that's when you can start tightening it up. And so when you start tightening it up, you'll notice, at least on this part, it says, you know, no impact tools. So you're supposed to just do it by hand. And this one is, since it's genuine, it's quite easy to turn by hand, actually. But I'll leave that one up to you. I'm pretty by the book, so I'm just going to get a ratcheting wrench or something like that and then just do it. And then one last step before I get started here is I'm going to use that lubricant, the metal assembly paste. I'm just going to put some on here, and I'll get a rag here in a second and just kind of wipe it around the threads. Okay, I got it in there, and you know, just holding the bottom, give it a couple twists. I know that it's engaged with that top plate in those particular holes it needs to be. Then you can start tightening up on the bottom, just with your hand, and that will start moving the base up into the bottom plate. Okay, and then once that gets tight, I'll get the wrench out. And let me just kind of show you where I'm working with too. Okay, there's hand tight. And here's the area you have to work with. So there, you can see the, yeah, I'll have to use a socket. And so, I think it's 19 millimeter. And then just turn that one clockwise, and that'll start compressing it. All right, it's come along nicely. Yeah, I think you can see barely see where they go into notches on the spring compressor. So this is getting pretty compressed. I'm gonna go just a little bit more if you need to. The manual says you can undo the top of your strut to give it a little more clearance, and that should make it easier to take out. Okay. I got a bottle jack under the control arm, and then I'm going to go ahead and just loosen up from the top here. And I know you're not supposed to, but I'm going to use an impact on the top. The reason I got it supported is just so that it won't fly down. Okay. Yeah, the manual shows the typical way of doing it, where you have to put an Allen in the middle and then you can get a 22 on the outside. But I just used my 22 with my impact. All right. Now that that's off, I can go ahead and lower the bottle jack slowly. Yeah, when you go to the junkyard and do it, you just hear a boom when you undo there, because they usually have the wheels off already, so. And all right, well, I'll just kind of mess around with this till I get it out. Okay, and there it is. I just had to kind of wiggle it. It's definitely scary. For me, this is like the scariest thing possible. I think what I'll do is just loosen up the tension on here. so that I don't have to worry about this thing just flying out and then just killing me. While I'm looking at this and cleaning the parts over here, you know, I want to, good thing I got this. I mean, I can basically disconnect it from the ball joint there on the spindle. And yeah, you can see those control arm bushings have definitely seen better days. I didn't think too far ahead because I don't have a press. These ones are just ridiculous. So it would be great to get some of this done. Definitely need to spray some brake clean on there and clean that out. It's nasty. But first things first, just at least make myself feel more safe about this. So I'm gonna uncompress this and come back. And this video is just for my reference. So this section of the video, I'm just kind of looking at where my plates go. So I have this one between the first and the second coil. I marked it just so that as I uncompress this, I can put it back in the same place. I'm thinking I'll go all the way with it and then just clean this spring too while I'm at it. And yep, this one here. Oh, this is called that the first, the second. This is on top of the third, going into the fourth. And so there's my markings. All right, so I'm just gonna keep uncompressing this until it's completely safe, and I'm really happy about that. So there we go. All right, so what I did, I took the strut out, got that set aside over there. There's two 19 millimeters on the back. You can see where those holes go. And then there's one right here that I looped my little hook through. Don't want to break this flexible brake line. So now I just had to do the ball joint. So it has the thing there too, the 19 millimeter. So now that that's free, I'm just going to get a pry tool in here and try to separate the ball joint from the control arm, or from the steering knuckle. Now here's an important step I did. So I got a piece of wood under here. I ended up taking the caliper off, set the brakes aside, and that way it's just out of the way. It's also less heavy when I'm trying to pick up and take the spindle off of the ball joint. It's not clearing. So this dust shield, I've taken my pliers, bent it, you know, all that kind of stuff. It's not going. So this is a tip I saw in Matt's garage. And so basically you just take this 5 millimeter nut out of your rotor, and then you'll be able to wobble it out. You don't have to take your floating brake caliper out, but that should give you enough clearance to do it. So let's see if that works. All right, to get loosening up that rotor to give the clearance, you can see where I used the pliers at first before I loosened up the nut on the rotor. That gave it the clearance it needed to get out. See, if you look at that, it's got a straight shot down. So that's what it needs. It actually curves inwards towards there too. So when this gets reinstalled, I'll have to put it back on. But wow, look at that ball joint. That's toast. So yeah, no wonder I'm getting a lot of swaying around on the highway. So yeah, next step, I'm gonna go ahead and take off the sway bar bushings, and then I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go ahead and take off the control arm bushings. All right, so now for the bushings. Believe it or not, I actually got it loose like this. So I have my 22 millimeter, and I have the other wrench hanging there, so just holding that one with my right, and then I broke it free with my left. I did hit it with PB Blaster. I did hit it with the electric gun. That did nothing. I busted out my air gun. That did nothing too. I mean, maybe it loosened it, I don't know. But it made a lot of noise under the car, my ears are ringing. But you know what, I got it loose with this. And I already hit the other side too, so it'll probably be just as easy. So this thing should be off pretty soon, and then should be able to start brake cleaning this, the spring. And then I have a tool for popping that ball joint out, so we'll be able to see if that works. And then we'll see how to take out those old ones and see how it goes. Before I get all crazy with the brake clean, I just wanted to show here's the assembly removed. So I got it. You can see the line where the spring goes at the end. It goes around. So Yeah, this ball joint is just awful. These control arm bushings are really, really bad too. I mean, this one's just falling apart. This side's not horrible. It's not good. So yeah, I'll hammer out that centerpiece first, that little metal thing, and then just see if I can get each side out and see how it goes. But I'm also just gonna hit this brake clean just to get this thing cleaned up. This is just nasty, and yeah, I want to get cleaned up before I get the tool out for the ball joint. Okay, this is by far the hardest part that I had to do. So getting the bushings off, and you know, they're already in pretty shitty condition, but this sucks really bad. But I found a way that works pretty reliably. And so once I got one off like that, I got the other three off pretty fast, matter of minutes. So, you know, what I would do here, and this is hot, so kind of stand it up like this. Let's say I'm doing this top one. Okay. You got a pair of channel locks, and then you have to go kind of in the middle. So grab it like this, and then don't grab the lip like the part under here. Grab the bushing with the other side. And then what you need to do, and I can't really demonstrate this, so I'll just kind of let go of this. Basically, you need to get your map gas, and you need to hit it all where that bushing is inside of this piece. Get it on this side, get it on that side, hit it for a good minute or so. And then once you do that, then you can get your channel locks, and then you grip it super hard, and then just try twisting it. And eventually it'll start twisting, and then you can get another grip at it, twist it, and then start pulling it, and then it will come out. I didn't have to use any other tools. That was all I had to do. At first, you know, I was trying chiseling and all this other stuff. You're not going to get it, I don't think. Maybe you can. And you can't use like a press, because it's, you know, they each come out of their own side. So the rear one, I think you can actually use a press. So that was fun for today here. Definitely looking like I won't finish the job today. I think I'm going to go and get the ball joint tool and at least get this off of here, and then I can do a final cleanup on this part. And here's the last part. After I got the control arm bushings out, I had to just pop that ball joint out. That was not too bad. So, but I mean, yeah, this looks terrible. Looks like it's been ovaled out. I don't think it's supposed to be like that. It's pretty bad. So anyways, when this is usually going through, then I have this press. Basically, you put this top piece on, and then you can slip this over the top, slide that part under, and then just start tightening this part, and it'll start smashing that cup through and push the bushing right out. There's some kits that have different kind of cups and everything. I just got this one on eBay. It was by a place called Gun. It was a German company, so they shipped it from Germany. I think it was $70. Yeah, it got it out pretty easy. Just had to figure out how to put it all together, because there's just not really good instructions. The only instructions were in German, so I translated it from using Google Translate and printed a copy of what they wrote. They just had a picture in those, but anyways, not a big deal. It works. I'm also going to use this to push in the new one, so I got the cups for that too, and then that will push in the new bushing. So my goal tonight now is just to clean this up, just brake clean it, get all of the crap off of here now, and that's it for today. Okay, day 2. I have the control arm bushings that were in the freezer, so that hopefully it gets a little smaller, easy to get in. I've already got 2 of them in, not all the way, but there is an orientation which I didn't know about. And so if it's right side up, this side, this is the left side, of course. When you're looking at it like this, it needs to have the 3 lines over here, 3 lines over here. Maybe I'll turn this before I push it in a little way. And then this side, it needs to be having the 1 line on top. And so what I'm doing is just putting the rubber lubricant all around the edges. Let me see if I can show this on video, just a second. Okay, so yeah, I got the stuff just coated with the rubber lubricant, and just kind of line it up. And then I'm just basically turning it up. I'll put the camera back up in just a second. And I'm turning it like this. Then I'm gonna go ahead and step on that top piece. Doing this one off camera. Stepping on it. Okay. Yeah, and that gets it in there. And so what I'm thinking at this point is that I'll probably put the bolt through and then tighten it up to get it going, or yeah, I don't know, we'll see. And I'm just gonna triple check, you know, turn these the right way, make sure it's good. So yeah, that's going back in. And then over on this side for the ball joint, I got the press. So I'll go ahead and use that in a minute. And then this is all ready to put back together finally. Yeah, so here's how I'm getting it back on. So I just took the plates, those washers from the original area where it gets installed, put them on. I got my 22 to counter hold it, and then I'm just ratcheting this on, and then it's squeezing that on. So I'll do that for both sides and then get to the ball joint. Yeah, this sucks. I keep ending up with something like this where one half goes in a little further than the other. And it even happens on both sides too, so it's not just... So it's just ridiculous. I'm not sure how to get this. Like I mean, obviously the alignment matters when you push it in, but it looked pretty even to me. And, you know, that means there's probably a special tool for this. Well, unfortunately, this was going to be the end of the video. So I tried really hard to get those bushings in there, and came to the conclusion you definitely need a special tool or a hydraulic press, or there might be a trick to it. I can't find an obvious solution. So I pulled out the ones that were there that were dented. I'm going to throw them out. And then basically I just gave up, went to FCP found the entire control arm assembly for the left and the right, ordered them. And so those will be here this next Friday in basically 6 days. So I'll cut the video here. I'll edit this, upload it, and this is part 1 of the lower control arm ball joint, whatever, repair, remove and repair. So thanks for watching.